And we're
You were kind of
officially
you're kind of breaking up a little bit.
live. Welcome to the Chain Rich
I'm not sure if it's me or if it's you,
community.
but
One,
it's hard to hear. You keep breaking up. Can you guys hear me okay? Everyone else in the chat?
am I audible now?
Yeah, that sounds better.
All right. So, welcome to the Chain Reach community. We're having a naming session with Chain Games, and we have here with us today Adam. He's the founder of Chain Games. He's a great guy who actually takes transparency within the all AMA platforms really seriously, and it's a really good thing. So, Adam, could you give us a brief introduction about yourself and
Sure,
how you started Chain Reach, Chain Games to begin with?
sure, absolutely. So I started Chain Games in 2020 actually. So it's been it'll actually be 5 years in August since we actually launched. Um, I've had I've been involved in blockchain and software development for really like well blockchain since about 2016, but software development for literally like my entire life. When I was younger, we used to play video games a lot, my friends and I, and we used to bet on, like GoldenEye or Madden or NBA 2K. We bet on the outcome using baseball cards and basketball cards. That was like our medium of exchange to to make the games a little more interesting. So when I got older, I said, I thought to myself, that would be a great idea to have like, some sort of platform where instead of using baseball and basketball cards, we can have some sort of currency to use and play video games with, and allow the winners to win the bets and win the currency that you're putting up for wager. And I had this idea actually even prior to blockchain. I checked in with the legal team to see what the feasibility would be behind it, and they told me that like getting PayPal or the merchant accounts to support you would be really hard and difficult, and it probably wasn't worth it. They would shut you down. I kind of put it on the back burner. But then when blockchain really started taking off, especially Ethereum, when Ethereum came out, I really started reading about it and learning about it, and I realized that blockchain and specifically Ethereum and EVMs, the Ethereum Virtual Machine ecosystem, was the perfect opportunity to create a decentralized gaming platform, a gaming system where users could play video games against each other, and bet on the outcome, bet on the results, utilizing tokens and having the entire thing via like an escrow type of smart contract, where users would put up tokens, at the beginning of the game. The tokens get locked in a smart contract, and then at the end of the game, the stats from the game are ingested back in the smart contract, which would tell the smart contract who to pay out accordingly for who won the game. So I started building it actually in late 2019. We came out in August of 2020. We were initially running on Ethereum, on layer one Ethereum. This was like before gas went like crazy. This was before DeFi summer. So it was actually, cheap enough at that point in time to actually run the full gaming platform on Ethereum. So we launched in 2020, August 2020, with a game called Super Crypto Kart, which was it's actually still out. It's like a Mario Kart-esque type of game, where you race carts around, and we had crypto characters that you could race. So you could race like Vitalik and Satoshi and Justin Sun and all these different characters, and you would, wager tokens, on your performance and on your play. Say 8 people joined a match, everyone put up, say, $1 in tokens, and then at the end of the match, first, second, and third would get payouts, like 70%, 20%, 10% ratio split, depending upon how they scored and how they did and ranked in the race. We came up with Super Crypto Kart, and then we kind of wanted to decide to implement more first party games and mainstream games. So we implemented support for Call of Duty. We started having Call of Duty tournaments, and then we implemented support for Fortnite. And that's actually when things really started going crazy and taking off. But Fortnite wasn't very happy with us doing this, and they actually sent us a cease and desist since we didn't technically have a license to run their games on our platform. So it's at that point in time we really decided that we need to pivot and focus on first-party games that we create ourselves instead of third-party games. And we started building some more social casual games. We have a game called 21 Wild, which is like a blackjack solitaire combination. We have a game called Dropsy, which is kind of like a multiplayer Tetris type of game, and some other sort of like casual games. But also at this time, we really started focusing on building the next AAA Web3 title, which was a first-person shooter that that we've always been interested in. I've always thought that the caliber and quality of Web3 games, at least up until recently, I would say Off the Grid is probably like the first one that really is of exquisite caliber and quality. The quality of the games they were just poor. They were like trading card games and just games that weren't that great. So we set out to really build a quality first-person shooter, a AAA first-person shooter, and we started working on that in late 2022. And the name of that game is Chain Reaction. So Chain Reaction and its single player component is called Project Prismatic. And we really wanted to build a game that was easy for Web3 and Web2 users to get onboarded to. So one of the main issues that we've always had in the Web3 industry is that the UX is never that great. It's difficult to get a wallet set up, to fund the account, and really you have kind of like this like split of Web3 gamers that play Web3 games and Web2 gamers that play Web2 games. And really there hasn't been like a mix or a segue to get the Web2 users over to Web3. And we aim to change that. So we've started to build Chain Reaction Project Prismatic, utilizing Unity's new web GPU platform, which allows full console quality graphics to be displayed and played in the web browser without any downloads or any installs. So you can literally fire up your Chrome browser or Brave browser and go to a URL and have a like a console quality experience with exquisite graphics. All running and all operational through your web browser with no downloads, no installs, and you can easily connect your Web3 wallet to that. So we're partnered with a company called ThirdWeb, which makes wallet integration extremely simple for crypto and novice users. It gives them the ability to have social logins, via Twitter or Facebook or even like Discord or Telegram or Twitch, and it creates a wallet for them automatically that's secured by an existing social account. It even works with email addresses as well. So that was our goal. We really wanted to make this easy onboarding experience and bring in the masses from Web 2 into Web 3. So about where are we at now? So it's about like 6 weeks ago we released Project Prismatic. Actually, like 4 weeks ago we released Project Prismatic, which is the single-player first-person shooter. And we've had an incredible reception to it. We've had to date about 400,000 unique players have been playing it online on the single-player version of it. We have over 9,000 reviews on a platform called Crazy Games, which has 35 million users. It's primarily a Web 2 platform. And we're gearing up for the multiplayer release. So the multiplayer release is really the part of the title that's fully Web 3 integrated. We're calling the multiplayer release Chain Reaction. And what's cool about Chain Reaction is it's the first real pure crypto first-person shooter that's out there. So you have like Off the Grid and some other titles, but Off the Grid it has some Web3 functionality. Like especially now they just released the gun token, and there's on-chain assets that are out or coming out. But we want to have a multiplayer experience that really focuses and captures the essence of Web3. So Chain Reaction is employing what we like to call it's this new narrative that we've kind of coined, that the community coined actually, and it's called Kill to Earn. So not like play to earn, where you're giving away tokens for free, which is kind of like a race to zero. Any games that are doing play to earn, there's really no incentive to buy the tokens or for the token value to go up. Since everyone's playing for and earning these tokens for free, they're going to sell them when they get them. It's going to be a race to zero. So play to earn isn't a very valid method for a token-based economy, a Web3 gaming economy, which is why we've come up with this other narrative called kill to earn, which essentially allows users to come to the game with tokens. And when you're killed in battle, you actually drop tokens on the ground in the arena, and other users can come and pick up the tokens. So it's like a battle and a fight, for your tokens that you're holding in these different arenas that you're going to be fighting in. So that's the next component of Project Prismatic that's coming out. That, like I said, it's called Chain Reaction, the multiplayer version, and that's what we're really focusing on now. And we're actually planning on having the closed alpha ready here, hopefully by the end of this week. We want to push it out by Sunday. So that's our main goal. We have a couple of bugs that we're fixing up, but the title's coming out here very shortly. We've already shared some gameplay footage on X and in our Telegram. We have an entire NFT loot box marketplace that's set up that utilizes the chain tokens, where you can buy gun skins and eventually emotes and other modifications. And these are all cosmetic modifications for the game. We don't want any type of any type of system where you can like buy your way to the top or have an advantage over other players. And the reason for that is because what we focus on is skill-based gaming, and really this kill to earn narrative to make it a level and fair playing field. So that's where we are right now. With our gaming titles of Project Prismatic and Chain Reaction. We have another title that's also in the works on the back end. We have a license with the PGA Tour. We are the only Web3 gaming company, or Web3 company in general, that has a gaming license with any professional sports organization. So we have the license and the rights to create a AAA PGA mobile title. We can use the actual players' names, PGA players' names. We can use the full courses that are licensed to the PGA. So that's another exciting title that is coming out. And really what our focus is that we want to build an entire decentralized gaming ecosystem with AAA quality caliber games. And we feel that's like the main thing that's really been missing in the Web3 space. Like I mentioned earlier, is that quality games that are of AAA caliber that you'd find on like a console, like a PlayStation or an Xbox or something like that. So that's where we stand on the gaming front. We are also for the launch of Chain Reaction and this PGA game and all subsequent games that we create afterwards, as well as games that we've previously created, all the social casual games that are already out. We'll be running on our new blockchain. We've built an app chain specific blockchain. It is a fork of Polygon Supernets or EdgeNet. And it utilizes the chain token as the native gas token. So this is an EVM compatible network, and it employs the delegated proof of stake (DPoS) consensus model, which allows users to set up validator nodes like you'd see on Ethereum or on Polygon, and then allows users to also delegate. So users who aren't as technically competent or advanced and don't have the technical qualifications to set up a validator node can easily stake their tokens and delegate them to a validator node. And then basically what this does is this allows everyone to get in and earn and be a part of the community and part of the ecosystem of securing the network from a validator perspective and from a block creation perspective. And the benefit of doing this is that every single transaction that occurs on the Supernet blockchain, the validators and the stakers are rewarded in chain tokens. And then a percentage of all entry fees are also returned to the validators and the stakers. So for instance, say we take Chain Reaction as an example, and we have 16 people that join a game, and they each put up $1 worth of chain tokens, right? So there would be $16 in the pool. What we do is we take 10% out right away. That's so like $1.60 comes out, and then half of that, 50% of that, which is 80 cents, would be automatically distributed to the delegators and the validator nodes, so that as the network grows, the more games that are played on the network, the more tokens that they earn for securing the network and providing compute resources to the network. So that's coming out very shortly as well. We're going to launch that before Chain Reaction beta goes live. And yeah, that's kind of like I know I covered a lot, but that's kind of like an overview of the Chain Games ecosystem from a gaming perspective as well as from a blockchain perspective.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. So, moving ahead to my next question. Web3 gaming is evolving rapidly, obviously. So how does blockchain games stand out in this space, and what makes like the platform unique from a player's perspective?
Sure. So we are the only platform that I know of that does skill-based gaming. Which allows users to essentially bet and wager on their gaming performance. So we're almost like esports on blockchain, right? Where you can come in and say you're good at a first-person shooter, you're good at a golf game, you're good at some of these casual social games. It can be difficult to get involved with the actual like esports competitive leagues that exist. Like you need to be the top, best of the best. This allows any user to come in. They think, oh, I'm good enough. I can win some tokens. Let's put my tokens up for battle here, and see if I can multiply my tokens and my earnings. So that's kind of where we differentiate ourselves from some of the other Web3 gaming projects. A lot of Web3 gaming, like I said, is play to earn. And we don't believe it really in the play to earn narrative. We believe in skill-based gaming and kill to earn, and that narrative of really essentially utilizing tokens in a token economy and wagering on yourself and setting up an entire decentralized games of skill wagering platform.
Sorry, my Telegram.
Yeah, you're breaking up again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So, one of the most exciting aspects of chain games is true asset ownership. So, could you explain how it actually works and how it's important for the gamers as well?
Yeah, so we believe in users being able to own their own assets in game, and those are all done via NFTs, and the ability to buy, sell, and trade your assets at any point in time. So we are fully supporting that with Chain Reaction. We have a loot box marketplace that's coming out where you can actually buy loot boxes. You can sell skins that you've acquired from the marketplace back. You can even sell the skins back to us. So we actually will be setting a floor on pricing for the skins to ensure that, and all add-ons essentially, to ensure that there's not that they don't fall down to a price of zero or something like that. So there's going to be floors that are automatically, systematically set within our ecosystem to ensure that assets always hold at least the minimum value, which we think we think that's very important. All the games that we're coming out with and previous games are supporting NFTs, and moving forward, we will expand upon that and not just have like skins for guns, but like I said, there will be other types of NFT upgrades that you can get, such as like emotes, like dancing and stuff like that, and celebrations, and some other things that we have planned that I think are going to be pretty cool as well. So yeah, we're totally in favor of a completely open asset ownership system that supports the NFT standard.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, Telegram is just I don't know, just don't know. So could you tell us a bit more about like what type of games can users enjoy on your platform, and are there any upcoming releases that should people should look forward to as well?
Yeah, so currently we have a number of social casual games, we like to call them. We have a game called 21 Wild, which is like a blackjack solitaire combination game. We have a game called Solitaire Plus, which is a solitaire-based game. Uh, we have a game called Chain Blocks, which is like a block puzzle type of game that's kind of like Tetris, but not kind of like Tetris. We have a game called Dropsy, which is kind of like battle multiplayer Tetris. And we have Super Crypto Kart. So that's what we have out right now. We also have our newest title, which is Project Prismatic, which is the first-person shooter enabled through the web browser. If you want to access any of our existing games, you can go to chaingames.io/games. If you want to play Project Prismatic, you can go to play.projectprismatic.com. That game is only available on desktop, on Chrome or Brave. It won't work on mobile. But the other games will work on mobile, so you can play those on mobile if you want. And then, like I mentioned, we have Chain Reaction, which is the multiplayer component of Project Prismatic, and that's gonna hopefully be out by Sunday, at least for our closed alpha experience. Closed alpha is going to be kind of like a closed off experience only for users who are staking 50,000 chain tokens or more. It's kind of like it's going to allow us basically to test things out with the game in a real life environment with real users playing, and really for us to squash some bugs, get feedback from the community of what they like, what they don't like, so that we can implement changes if necessary. And then we plan on opening that up for the larger community. We'll have an open alpha, which will allow pretty much anyone to join, and then we'll progress into beta, and then eventually production. So that's the roadmap and the path for Chain Reaction. Project Prismatic, the single player component, we have one episode out right now. The single player is episodic. So each episode is like 20 minutes roughly of gameplay. The first episode is free. You can play it right now, like I said, at play.projectprismatic.com. The second episode, we actually just released a teaser video of it today, and we've also announced that it's going to be an open world environment. So the second episode is probably going to be available for retail and available to play publicly, I would say in about 6 weeks. So that's the next version that's coming out, and that's going to be $5 to purchase it. And then, like I mentioned, we have the PGA Tour game called PGA Tour Rise, which is in the works. We don't have a definite release date for that, but it's looking like early 2026. And then this is some news that not even the Chain Games community knows about. We actually have another title that's in the works too that I haven't even shared with any of you guys yet. So something exciting. I don't think I'm ready to quite share the name or the type of game it is yet. But in the next, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks, you guys are going to get some exciting information about another title that's coming out that is also WebGPU and WebGL enabled.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. So, have you guys thought of like doing like a merchandise for your project as well?
It's something that we played around with in the past. We actually never we had designs actually made for Chain Game shirts and T-shirts and stuff like that, but we never released any. But I think I think it's definitely something that's doable in the future, especially if we if the community wants something like that. If you guys community members, if you guys want some Chain Game shirts or Project Prismatic or Chain Reaction shirts or anything like that from a merch standpoint, let us know in the chats if you think that's something you'd like to see.
Yeah, that would definitely happen. It's really an important part of owning a project. Even here in the Chain Reach community, we also have a merchandise. I have a hoodie of my of Chain Reach logo on it. I also have a cap. So it's really an important aspect of owning a project and visibility as well. So
So
that's
we
really
do
amazing. So
we have Chain Games T-shirts, and we've given them away to a couple of different community members over the years. We've given them away at conferences that we've actually been at, but we've never officially set anything up from like a retail perspective where like you can just go onto our website and like order a T-shirt or something like that. So it's always been involved, around like conferences or giveaways or something like that. But we're not opposed to setting something like that up if that's what the community members are interested in. And I think that's a great way for organic guerrilla marketing.
Exactly, exactly. That's great. So, I think I'm just gonna ask my last question before we head into the community question as well. So, can you walk us through the role of the native token within the ecosystem? So, how does it enhance both user gameplay and community engagement?
Sure. So the chain token is the main medium of exchange on the Chain Games network. So that includes the new blockchain that we're releasing, the Supernet, as well as the gas token on the Supernet. So it's fully integrated. It's utilized, like I said, as the gas token, as the medium of exchange for transactions, and then it's also used as the medium of exchange for entry fees within all of our games. So for entering games to play, like say you're putting up $1 in chain tokens, you're playing the first-person shooter. In order to win more tokens, you're utilizing the chain token for that. Or to buy NFTs, whether that's on existing games or the loot box marketplace. It all revolves around the chain token. And that even extends further to the validator nodes and the delegators who require a certain amount of tokens to secure the network. So we want to ensure that the validator nodes have skin in the game, right? Because they're getting rewarded for their providing compute resources. So in order to become a validator node, you need 250,000 chain tokens staked. And then to become a delegator, you can actually only have one chain token if you really want to and delegate it to those validator nodes. But we want to make sure everyone's involved in the community, that they're all securing the network, that this is trying to become as decentralized of a gaming ecosystem as possible. And we feel by doing that with the by having the system set up with validator nodes, and especially having the chain token be the gas token within the network, that it really captures that.
All right. So, sorry, I know I said before that I was gonna ask my last question, but I just wanted to ask this one more time. Are there like some key milestones or exciting updates on the horizon for chain games as we move further into 2025?
Yeah, I would say, pretty much what I've mentioned previously. So, Chain Reaction, the multiplayer first-person shooter that, really is coining the kill to earn narrative, the new GameFi narrative. That's launching here very, very soon. Closed alpha is coming out here, hopefully by the end of the week. So that I would say is our biggest release coming up. After that, we have episode 2 of Project Prismatic, which is the single-player component. So that's coming out in like 6 weeks. We have another game, like I alluded to, that the community is going to find out about here in the next 3 weeks or so. That's coming out within probably like the next 2 months or so. So it's actually getting developed very, very quickly, and I'm very pleased with the progress so far. So we have that title as well. And we have the PGA Tour title. So we have a full AAA mobile golfing experience game that's going to be coming out in early 2026. So from a gaming perspective and horizon, that's what you can expect. And then, one of the other major milestones on the roadmap is the Chain Games Supernet, our new blockchain that we're releasing, which is a gaming-specific app chain. So that's the blockchain that utilizes the chain token as the gas token. It has a very quick block time of it's averaging about 2.3 seconds per block right now. So that's very, very quick. Ethereum's at like 11 seconds. So we're, roughly about 5 times quicker than Ethereum at present.
That's amazing. So it's time for question, guys. Before we head into that, Adam, I just wanted to ask, is there like anything you'd like to cover? Maybe we didn't cover it, or maybe I didn't ask the questions. Really, you just want to clarify on that. We'll cover it up before we head into the community question.
No, I think I pretty much covered a majority of stuff I wanted to talk about. I would say the only other thing I want to mention is our new staking and validator node system. So one of the things I didn't mention is that one of the incentives for becoming a validator node as opposed to just delegating tokens is that a validator node can actually earn additional commissions and additional tokens versus just being a delegator. So as a validator node, you can set up essentially a commission rate that you want to charge users who are delegating their tokens to you. That could be anything from 0% to 100% if you really wanted it to. But I suspect majority of the validator nodes are probably going to be around like the 5 to 10% mark. So what that allows the validators to do is that they also have an added incentive of setting up these nodes because they will earn a percentage of the delegators' tokens, the users that are delegating tokens to the validator node. This is a very common setup that you see on other blockchains, like Polygon has this for their the layer 1. So you can stake tokens on Matic tokens, for instance. Well, I guess they're called POL tokens now. POL tokens on Ethereum, and and basically whoever you're staking with, they earn a cutoff of a commission, a cutoff the delegation. Or you can set up your own node and set your own commission rates. So that's one thing I think I didn't mention with our staking and validating system, which is kind of noteworthy. But I think other than that, we kind of we covered a lot. So I'd say it would be good to open it up to the community and just to the chat for any questions they have.
That's amazing. Okay, so I muted Victoria. Mark is muted. You can ask away.
Hi guys, am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so my question is, how does Chain Games plan to bridge the gap between traditional gamers and blockchain-based gaming to drive mass adoption?
Sure, great question. So the studio that we've been working with, Stratton Studios, has been creating Web 2 based games and AAA titles for many years now. They're what was initially referred to as a co-development studio. So basically, big companies like Microsoft, like Blizzard, Activision, they would contract out work to these co-development studios, and it was the co-development studios that actually would do a lot of work and heavy lifting for these gaming companies. So Stratton Studios is a company that's building Project Prismatic and Chain Reaction and the PGA title game, have a lot of experience with creating AAA caliber titles for the Web 2 audience. And what we're doing is we're bridging the gap by taking these AAA caliber titles with console quality graphics and kind of employing a hybrid model where we're incorporating Web3 functionality into these titles. The title Project Prismatic is actually, like I said, it's already listed on Crazy Games, which is a Web2 gaming site that has 35 million users right now, and we've had about 400,000 unique players playing it already, and over almost 9,000, almost 9,100 reviews, rated at an 8.8 out of 10. So we have exposure already to a lot of the Web 2 gaming community. We also have a partnership with Ray Browser, which is the new gaming browser that's strictly dedicated to games in browser. They have 100,000 users that are all Web 2 users. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to siphon off and convert these Web 2 users, since we already have a decent amount of Web 2 users that are playing, and get them to come over to the Web 3 version of Chain Reaction or other games that we're creating. And we think, by utilizing this method, as well as the wallet integration, we use smart wallets through ThirdWeb to make it very easy for a non-crypto native user to kind of come over to the system. We think that's really gonna help onboard Web 2 users. And also we are partnering with a merchant provider that's going to allow us to essentially allow users to purchase tokens in game. So it's going to be super quick. They can purchase tokens in game using a credit card, using a debit card. It works with Apple Pay. It works with Google Pay. And it's going to instantly send them the tokens to their smart wallet. So really I believe that one of the main issues and impedances of Web3 gaming was that it was very hard to get a user into the game if they weren't really Web3 and crypto native. So we've kind of built these rails in place that we feel are going to be successful in bridging the gap and getting Web2 users into our ecosystem.
Thanks for the clarification.
You're welcome.
Right. Thanks for your question. Victoria. Leon, the professional, I unmuted you. You can ask your way now.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess you kind of answered my question with the previous question, but like I guess I just wanted to ask like can you like talk in further detail like what the experience would be like for a Web2 user who's going to be buying the chain token for the very first time? I know you mentioned third web and everything, but maybe you can talk a bit more talk about it in a bit more detail and how it kind of
Hello
works on the
guys, how
back
are
end
you
side of
doing?
things.
Yeah, sure. So we have partnered with Third Web. Third Web provides smart wallets, and they allow for social logins. So it's very easy for a Web2 user to create a wallet. They don't need to copy down a seed phrase, copy down a private key. Basically, they will utilize the same type of like OAuth type of login structure that they're used to already. So, there's plenty of websites, applications on your phone, so on and so forth that allow you to log in with Facebook or log in with your Apple ID or your Google ID or an email address or something like that. So it's going to be very familiar to the Web2 user for how they can create an account. And the wallet creation and that whole process is just going to be done on the back end, kind of like without them knowing that it's even blockchain related. And what's great about this is that once they're in game, they're going to be able to purchase tokens almost like you can do right now in iOS titles, or some, I guess some desktop titles have it, where you're just doing like an in-app purchase, right? So you can go into the store, you can say, I want to purchase, $50 worth of tokens. We'll tell you this is how many tokens you're getting. And from a technical perspective on the back end, what happens is that after that transaction is processed, so they can pay with a credit card, they can pay with a debit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay, so on and so forth. After that transaction is processed and we get the confirmation, we actually have a simultaneous buy that occurs on the dexes. So they're going to be occurring most likely on the Polygon dex, since that's where gas is very cheap and transactions are cheap. So say a user comes in, they want to buy $50 of tokens through the game. Everything processes, and then on the back end, we actually have a process that goes through and it purchases the tokens right then and there in real time and sends it to their new Third Web wallet that's authenticated via against their one of their social logins. So they're going to be able to have tokens in their wallet nearly instantaneously after the payment has been made, and that's going to allow them to join up into games to buy NFTs and skins and upgrades. And really allows them to experience a Web3 game like what they're used to in the Web2 ecosystem.
Great, thank you so much.
Right. So I unmuted Leon, the professional. You can ask your question now.
Hello guys, how are you doing? Hello Mr. Adam.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So my question is, what makes your project different and similar than other project in the space?
Yeah, I feel like we touched upon this already, but we can reiterate. So there aren't really projects that are in the Web3 gaming space that focus on skill-based gaming. The majority of projects that are out there are play-to-earn projects. You have titles like Off the Grid, I guess, which has a gun token and they have assets that are on-chain assets like skins and upgrades and stuff like that. But no one really is doing this skill-based gaming where you can essentially wager on how good you are at a video game. It's literally an esports on blockchain, right? So there's a big difference in the in legal definition of games of chance versus games of skill. And I know it's like I keep mentioning this games of skill concept. Games of skill is legally different from a game of chance in that it primarily requires your own skill to play the game. A game of chance would be something like craps or roulette or a slot machine where it's 100% based upon chance and there's no skill involved. Games of chance require a gaming license. You need to have like a gaming or a casino license in pretty much every single jurisdiction worldwide. Games of skill, which is what we're focused on, is legal in about 90% of jurisdictions worldwide without a gaming license. So that's how we differentiate from some of these other projects, whether it's Games of Chance or Play to Earn or something like that. This is I think the easiest way to think about it is it's esports on blockchain, but instead of having like physical gaming competitions where all these users show up at an arena and they bring their PCs or they utilize PCs that are there. This is now decentralized and done over the internet and utilizes a smart contract methodology to ensure that tokens are secure, they're paid out accordingly, and that you really don't have to worry about a middleman involved.
Okay, thank you. That was great answer, and I wish you all success and good luck in your project.
Thank you. Thanks for the question. Do we have some more questions? Chainreach, are you still with us?
I don't know, my Telegram is glitching. I don't know. Just give me a second. I unmuted Harold. Harold, you can ask you right now.
Hi guys. Hope
Hey,
you can
Harold.
hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
My question is, how does Chain Games ensure a smooth and fun gaming experience while maintaining the complexity of blockchain under the hood?
Sure. So that's something that we're very focused on. We want to have we want gaming to exist like it has previously existed. So whether data is stored in a SQL database or on the blockchain, from a user perspective, it should be it should be it should be transparent. There shouldn't be they shouldn't even know really what's going on. It should feel like a traditional gaming experience. So that's why we've implemented, like I said, our third web wallet provider to allow for smart wallets. That's not very complex for a user to set up. They can use their social logins, and then the ability for users to buy essentially in-game tokens utilizing their credit card or debit card or Google or Apple Pay or something like that. So I think that it really comes down to the UX of the game and the ecosystem, and I think that's why it's been difficult for Web3 gaming companies to onboard massive amounts of gamers into their ecosystem, especially gamers that are outside of Web3. So Web3 is such a small niche community that you can have a successful project where you're only attracting Web3 gamers, but really if you want to branch out and really get the masses and millions upon millions of gamers playing your game, you need to target the Web2 audience that the crypto naive audience, I guess we can call them, that really don't know what's going on. But if you can make it easy enough for them, utilizing like the strategies that I've mentioned, I think you can be successful in doing that.
All right, thanks Adam for the answer.
You're welcome.
Alright, so I think this is the limit and what we're gonna take for today's AMA. So Adam, is there like a closing statement that you want to add before we round up the session?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I encourage all the call participants to join our Telegram channel. It's t.me/chain games. You can also find it on the banner in the Chainreach Telegram group. Also, following us on Twitter is probably a good idea as well. We release a lot of alpha and information that doesn't get out to X until later on in our Telegram first, whether it's videos, whether it's gaming updates, general blockchain stuff. So really, if you wanna be in the I guess we can call it, in the underground and really know what's going on with chain games, I would say, definitely join our Telegram. Follow us on Twitter to get more updates and information. And try some of our games out, chaingames.io. You can go over there and try some of our social casual games. If you're into first-person shooters, I highly recommend you try Project Prismatic, rated an 8.8 out of 10 right now. You can go play that at play.projectprismatic.com. Yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to chat with us in our Telegram chat, or shoot us a message on Twitter, or reach out that way. If you're interested in the Chain Games token, we are available on Uniswap on Ethereum. We're available on QuickSwap on Polygon, and on Radium on Solana. And as well as a couple of different centralized exchanges. We're on Gate.io, Bloxy, and Probit. So you can find out more information from a token perspective and exchanges that we're on by just going to CoinGecko and just searching for Chain Games. So it will pull up our profile.
Right, that's amazing. So, Adam, thank you. It's been an expensive opportunity having you here with us today and sharing your amazing project, Chain Games. And just want to ask just this little question. Is there like mainly about your project? How can you like describe your project in like maybe in a small word?
I would say it's the easiest way to explain it is esports on blockchain that you can bet on and wager on.
All right, this is amazing. So, guys, don't forget to follow their socials and tag along with this amazing project, and also don't hesitate to grab a bag as well, because they're going to the moon. And also, it's a great project, highly recommended, as hosted here on our platform. So, Adam, it's been an honor having you, and thank you for coming to the community.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks.
Yep.